Hello, everybody. Welcome to Witchfinger Horror Podcast. How is everybody doing tonight? I'm sure you're doing fine. We're all drinking. My name is Yolanda.
I'm sure you're doing fine.
We're all drinking. I farted. And
I've been belching up a storm.
Yeah, I have
oh
gas.
My god.
Sorry, girls, I have gas.
That's fine.
But yeah, so my name is Yasmina, and to my left is Morgan.
Hello.
And always to my right is Megan.
Hello.
And tonight we are watching The Outing / The Lamp.
This is my pick.
Yeah, Morgan, you discovered this movie. Right?
But have you watched it?
You know what? I watched maybe like the first 15 minutes, but I was at work, so I was like, I can't get into an entire movie right now.
Yeah.
And I think I was just actually trolling around on YouTube looking at like full-length bad movies, and I actually have like a folder that I emailed to myself that was like, oh, this movie looks bad.
Oh, dude, I have a list of like terrible movies on my phone.
Yeah, and so I came across it, and I don't know, it's about a genie. So I was like, this is different. You know, you don't really hear about evil genies too much, so.
Yeah, I'd never heard of it before you mentioned it.
No, I actually had never either, and I was like, this is so good.
We usually will talk amongst ourselves about, well, what movie should we do for our next episode? And sent a message, like, Megan's like, well, what movie do you guys want to do? And Morgan's like, you know my vote. And Megan's just like, okay.
And then I sent the picture of the poster, and Yasmina was like, you had that saved in your phone already, didn't you? And I was like, yes, I did.
And actually, like, the genie looks pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
And I do know that we don't get to see him until the last like 15 minutes of the movie or whatnot, but we are currently watching this movie on YouTube. Thank you for the internet.
Yeah.
And it's like a VHS rip, which is amazing because I love VHS. So even
my God.
the bad quality
So
makes it feel even more nostalgic. I've heard while I was doing my research online, like apparently like the DVD transfer, they didn't do anything at all to improve the quality whatsoever. So it's like literally they just took the VHS and ripped it onto a DVD.
There's a Blu-ray actually.
But
I was gonna say I saw there was a Blu-ray.
Yeah, Scream Factory released both
amazing.
the DVD and the Blu-ray, so I think the Blu-ray will be a little bit better, but they're both in like one of those like 4-pack, like 2-pack movies.
Yeah, there was another
comes
movie
with,
I
like,
saw
other
as well.
movies.
There was this, so I was trying to figure out what this movie was about, and I went on to 80shorrorcentral.com. This fucking description. The Outing features death by snakes, 80s bush, cheesy green smoke, a security guard who sings opera, and a locker room throwdown.
Oh, I didn't know.
So this is what we're getting.
Yeah.
This sounds fun.
No,
like
awesome.
it's got really bad ratings, but really good reviews by people like us, I'm assuming. Like people who like love like the 80s like quality.
Siskel and Ebert are gonna hate this.
Oh, yeah.
Well, fuck them.
Fuck them.
One of them's dead.
Yeah.
Fuck him. But yeah, well, it was directed by Tom Daly, and it was written by Warren Chaney, and Warren Chaney also plays Detective Charles in the movie. That's all the information I have about these two fellas.
Yeah, Tom Daly actually hasn't done anything else.
I tried to look them up, and there's no information about them.
Actually, he did. This is his only movie as director. However, he has acted in one other movie, in a movie called Killing Uncle Roman, where he played Uncle Roman.
That sounds really creepy, like in a diddler way.
Yeah. From what I saw, I think it was actually a movie about a real life story about a French serial killer. So, I don't know.
Weird.
It was weird, though, because when I went on the IMDb page for him, it said that he died in 2014, but the movie said it came out in 2016. So I don't know if it's just like looking for like distribution and they can't find it, or like how he played Uncle Roman when he died 2 years before the movie came out.
Uncle Bad Touch.
Aww.
Yeah. The scriptwriter, Warren Chaney, is actually married to Deborah Winters, who's one of the main stars of this movie. And it also came up as she was an executive producer.
Oh.
So I think probably most of the names in the credits are probably fake. Like many small films.
Like Spookies. Spookies is like that too, where they just filled in all of, like the names for like the credits, like they just like filled it in with like their own names, like just to make it look like a large crew in the credits.
Oh, who
Yeah,
cares?
Yeah, I
shockingly
know.
enough,
Back in
though-
the 80s, I guess like people cared,
that's
but
true.
Yeah, because you want to have credits that are longer than 5 seconds.
yeah, and they have Warren and Deborah have 5 kids.
What? They love the fur.
Gross.
Apparently, the budget was $2 million estimated on this movie, and I doubt it.
I do not believe that. No way.
No, I don't know. That's just what I saw.
I saw that too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
2 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's insane.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money in 87
For a movie
for
that
movie like
none of
this.
us have heard of or seen.
Yeah.
It's like 2 million smackaroos.
Oh, man,
It
that's
was probably all
hilarious.
spent on like the tits. All I read about this
On the
movie,
tits.
everything I read about this movie was like, dude, there's tits.
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
know.
pussy,
Yeah,
tits
you know
and
what's
pussy,
funny
tits
about
and
that?
pussy.
Pussy,
Totally,
too,
like
that's
even
impressive.
in
Yeah.
like I read the Wikipedia plot, and they had to mention
Yeah.
that the woman's breasts are exposed. Like they had
Yeah,
that in
yeah.
the plot.
Like,
in
it was
Wikipedia.
actually in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that's really important, valuable information for this movie.
What year was this out in? Sorry.
87.
87,
It came out
okay.
in April, on April 28th of 1987. It was originally released in the United Kingdom first.
As the lamp.
Yeah, as The Lamp, and then it was retitled The Outing for its release in the United States, and it came out September 11th of the same year. However, from what I've seen and read, The Outing, which is the US version, is actually an edited and shortened version
Yeah,
of
it's
The Lamp.
it's 20 minutes less.
Okay, so are we watching the UK version?
I have
or...
no idea. It's just the one that's on YouTube. Like the
Okay.
full movie is on YouTube.
Well,
but
it said The Outing, so I'm assuming it's going to be the American version.
yeah, you know what? Actually, I'm pretty sure that we are watching The Outing because The Lamp, from what I just read online, is really hard to come by. Like, and
That cut?
Interesting.
if it was even like a UK DVD, like
Yeah.
it wouldn't work in our players anyways. But I've heard that it's actually kind of hard to
Oh.
find. But I'm sure it's probably in some like garbage bin somewhere in some alley in like London, UK or
Yeah,
something.
maybe we can find it at a UK truck stop somewhere one day.
Yeah, maybe. So right now there's like these hooligans in a house, and they're terrorizing like this old woman in the bed, and she just kind of reminded me of Zelda from Pet Cemetery.
Yeah, she's got a super creepy face.
Yeah.
I can't see shit. I don't know how you guys are seeing.
Oh, look at her. She's
yeah,
like a
no,
witch.
she's
Oh wait, is that a
horrifying.
man? I think is that a man or a
Which
woman?
would make sense because Zelda was played by a man.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
that
That's
makes
true.
total
Mutant.
sense. Why are you busting into walls? Oh, they're probably looking
Yeah,
for
they
the
like
treasure, which is
they
the
broke
lamp.
into this old man or woman's house, and yeah, so they're basically just like looking for.
Oh,
like,
there's a
any
safe,
loot.
and
In
they've
the
pulled it
wall.
out of the wall.
Get the safe.
Is that Tilda Swinton playing the old lady?
Ah,
Joking.
It does look like her actually.
A little bit.
Well, maybe part of the reason why the budget was so high for this movie is because it was shot in 2 locations in Los Angeles and Houston, and those are very expensive cities to shoot a movie in.
Yeah, actually, you know what's really funny is when we announced that we were going to be doing this movie for our next podcast. One of our listeners from Houston, his name is Jay Montalongo. He actually commented and was like really excited that we were doing it because apparently growing up in Houston, he had lots of field trips to the museum, and it was actually filmed at the Museum of Natural History in Houston.
That's awesome. Yeah, I read that.
Yeah, so this movie has like a special place in his
Aw.
heart because watching the movie, he kind of gets nostalgic about all of his
Yeah.
field trips that he had.
That's
So,
cool. That's
yeah.
actually like my friend Mike, who lives in Toronto, but he grew up in Dundas, Ontario, and that's where they filmed Black Roses.
Oh,
Yeah, and like a lot of people think that it was filmed in Toronto, but it was actually Dundas, Ontario.
Oh, even
love Dundas.
worse.
I-
And Black
Beautiful.
Roses is
Love
so
that movie.
good. Okay,
that
I
movie
think
is ridiculous.
we have
Like,
to commit to do it.
I
At some
know
point.
we have so many movies that we're going to be doing for this like
Black
podcast, and like we always
Roses.
talk about like, oh, we're gonna do Night of the Demons, oh, we're gonna do fucking like Hellraiser 2, but like Black Roses is so absurd. I fucking love that
It's
movie.
amazing.
Yeah,
it's
pretty
fabulous.
awesome.
It's funny, Yaz, weren't you saying, fuck, what did you say not 3 seconds ago about how, something about the spookies?
the cast and crew were mostly like made up in
Right.
the credits.
So that's so funny you say that, because I was like, I fucking know that when I was researching this, something about the Spookies came up, and it's because when I was looking at like, oh, and it's like you come up to this section where it's like, if you liked this, then you might like blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
blah.
yeah, yeah.
Spookies is definitely on the list of
It
like
totally-
similar movies.
It does look like
Spookies.
it. Like, it's very similar.
Well, yeah, it's like a bunch of like young people that go to like an abandoned building-ish thing, and then weird things happen.
And Slaughterhouse is another
Yeah.
one that just came up. This is
Yep.
gonna be amazing.
It's-
I've never seen Slaughterhouse.
Oh, it's funny. Well, they're all fucking funny.
Yeah.
All these movies are
It's got
goddamn
similar vibes.
hilarious.
Yeah. So they found a lamp, a little genie lamp at this
Actually, that's kind of a big genie
Zelda's
lamp.
house here. And he's fucking
Rub,
rubbing it.
stroking it like it was a
Yeah.
cock,
Yeah.
kind of a little bit. That was a little bit weird.
What is she doing?
And they're getting drunk. The lady there, Daisy Dukes, down there, putting a beer on top of her head.
They have Santa sacks.
filling their sacks with stuff. Oh, and there's like a glowing bulb on the end of this genie lamp.
So the hillbilly's gonna die for sure.
Probably.
It's like Rudolph's nose. It's blinking. And yeah, they have like hobo sacks. That's so weird.
So the main actress in this, Deborah Winters, she is now a real estate agent.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was in a couple of movies. The only movies that were on IMDb, which was Tarantulas.
I've never seen it, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, Blue Sunshine. I don't know. And a movie with Walter Matthau, who we talked about earlier,
Interesting.
called Koch.
There's a
Koch?
Koch.
How do you spell that?
Kotch. Not to be confused with crotch. Which, with Walter Matthau, would be horrendous. I would
Yeah.
never watch crotch. But yeah, actually, there's some. The only person I think that's in the movie that has been in a lot of stuff that's like mentionable is James Huston. He's had bit parts in Powder.
right. Yes.
That
He was
movie's
in a
so
few-
fucking creepy.
He was in a few movies. Sorry,
Yeah,
go
he
on,
was in
Morgan.
he was in Ray, which is the Ray Charles movie with
Yeah,
that's nice.
He's done
Jamie
good.
Foxx
oh,
there.
that's Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
Nice.
and Life of David Gale as well.
Oh,
which-
that's a fucking fantastic movie.
Yeah, and
it's not a horror movie at all.
No, but like good movies, like so he's been in some bigger movies.
Yeah.
He wasn't like, like build.
Tits,
Oh,
boobs.
there's boobs already. Whoa, an axe in her head.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, Deborah Winters was also in a
No.
movie called
Unrealistic.
it's called Hail Hero, and it was from 1969, which is Michael Douglas's first movie.
Oh, really?
Guys,
Oh, so the Zelda woman,
her eyes turned green.
yeah, they were like bright green. So the genie came out of the lamp and possessed the old woman or man, and now
There was
she's
some
going full on,
green light that was surrounding.
full on genie rage.
Yeah.
Oh, here's that CGI that I read about. There's
Is it how is it
apparently
even
some bad
CGI?
Yeah, well, they said it was some bad, there's that
bad
cheesy
effects?
green smoke.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I like
it. Looks
it.
great. Yeah, I think it looks cool. It's believable. P.S. This old woman's house, I want to live in it. Like
Yeah,
she's
it's
got like
pretty
antique
sweet.
furniture and just like
A parrot.
yeah, so awesome.
Classic bitch, tits out, running up the stairs.
Oh, I know.
Instead of out the fucking front door.
Just bouncing
That's
and
just
bouncing
another
and
Friday
bouncing.
night for me. I like her red hoop earrings though. Those are sweet.
Oh, that's cool as fuck.
Yeah,
Oh, I see. So she's levitating. The genie is making her levitate
and choking her.
and choking her at the same time.
And there's sparks coming out of her feet.
Mhm.
I don't know, man. Like, so far this movie's got some pretty good action in it. Like,
I like it so far.
Yeah.
Despite the quality, and we can barely see what's happening.
yeah.
But
Well, apparently the first part of the movie is like really dark, and then it actually lightens up a little bit.
good
so-
because I want to get like a good view of the genie monster man.
Or is it a genie or is it a djinn?
It's a djinn.
Yes. But
Yes.
they're different though. They're a different thing. The djinn is a Middle Eastern traditional like supernatural demon thing.
Yeah. So we actually did some research on djinns,
Yeah.
and yeah.
I mean,
so basically,
not cold gin.
No. No.
Not like, no.
But yeah, well, a djinn is a demon.
Yes, a
And-
brown demon.
A brown demon. So
Was that in the
originally,
description?
No.
Oh.
Because it's a Middle Eastern tradition.
I'm picturing like a fucking turd like pooping out of a lamp.
Well, I mean, this genie that they have in this movie actually kind of looks like he's like a demon.
yeah,
Mr.
yeah,
Hanky.
he
He's
does
like
look
kind of
pretty
a poop,
cool.
you know?
Yeah. Well, it's originally of Arabic mythology, so that's why she called it brown genie.
I actually
And,
texted her and I was like, it was like the djinn is from your people.
Yeah, because my parents were brown. it was my people's fault. But yeah, so they have free will, like humans, and so they can either be good or evil. And the first genie movie that was ever made was The Thief of Baghdad in 1940, and my parents, of course, fucking have it on VHS.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I remember like watching it when I was a kid, and the animation is so bad. Like it's like Jason and the Agronauts.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like it's
I
like
love
that. Yeah. But I always remember watching that movie when I was a kid.
But
and-
the skeletons in that
Yeah.
were like groundbreaking at
Yeah.
the time.
I
Oh my god, but it's
know.
so
Great
rotten.
film.
It's totally
Oh,
rotten.
it's a great film.
For sure. But I mean, I don't know, like is that the first that movie that you were speaking of, is that
The
the
Thief of
first
Baghdad?
Yeah, is that like the first movie with the genie that like depicts it like with the lamp
Yeah.
thing? Because obviously
Yeah.
like in the Quran and all those things, the jinn don't pop out of lamps, they're
Yeah.
actually just sort of demons, and
Yeah.
they're involved sort of with Satan, I guess. So according to the Quran, the jinn, like you said, they have free will. Is it? I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it
Shaitan.
Iblis?
Oh, okay.
So,
Shaitan
yeah.
is the Satan one.
Iblis was one, and he abused this freedom in front of God by refusing to bow to Adam when God ordered the angels and the jinn to do so. So for disobeying God, Iblis was expelled from paradise, and then he was called Shaitan.
Yeah.
Which is Satan.
Which is Satan.
Yeah, so that's where you get it from. Also, fun fact, Nile have a song called "The Howling of the Jinn."
Fuck yeah.
And
Nile.
when I saw that it was actually a jinn, the first thing I thought of was that song because that's fucking
Yeah.
awesome.
And it's
got-
it's actually very fitting for that band. A vengeance.
and then in the middle, that song goes, and then it's just like, it's fucking awesome.
Oh man, I'm sad that I've never seen Nile. Like I need to see that band before I die. Like they are like probably one of the heaviest bands.
Oh,
to
they're
ever
so
exist.
heavy. We
Them,
played with them before. I've seen them a
really
few times as
fuck.
well in
I would love
concert.
to see them.
It
Like
was
they're just
crazy.
like one of those bands that just sound like chaos. Like it's all metal, blast beat, constantly, all the time.
Yeah, it's just like,
I was gonna say,
like-
it's probably like that.
Like it's insane. It's like Vader. Like have you ever heard
Oh,
Vader?
yes.
Vader
Yeah, I've
is
heard
like
Vader.
that. Like it's just every single fucking song is just like like it's fucked. It's funny.
And then they stop and they go, "Thank you."
Yeah, I know. yeah. Dude, that's like that story that Morgan that you have about 6 Feet Under when you went to go see them, and didn't Chris Barnes like at the beginning of a song was like, "This song
it's
called snakes.
It's called
snakes."
snakes.
Oh, metal, so funny.
Oh, it's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I love it.
But yeah, in terms of genies depicted in like pop culture, the first movie was The Thief of Baghdad that released in 1940, and there's so many genies in pop culture. Like obviously, like
Oh my
I Dream of
God.
Jeannie is probably the most well known.
Yeah.
And Aladdin, like
TV
Wow.
show.
Robin
And
Williams,
Aladdin.
Yeah.
Speaking of Aladdin, do you guys remember? Okay, obviously, like Disney has all those like secret, like hidden, like sexual messages
Yeah.
in the movies and stuff like that. Like the Aladdin one always made me laugh. Like when Robin Williams is like doing the voice of the genie,
Yeah.
whatever his name is, and there's like one part where he's like telling Aladdin to say something to Jasmine like through her balcony,
And he's
like
whispering
if
to
you
him?
yeah, he's whispering it to
Yeah.
him and telling him like what to say to
Yeah.
Jasmine. If you turn that shit up on like the VHS, he says, "Take off her clothes."
Yeah, it's one of those like Disney.
Yeah,
urban
I love
legends.
all that
There's a
stuff. I love
ton
all
of
that stuff.
them.
Like I just told you the other day, Megan didn't know about the did you know about the Rescuers
Rescuers?
Down Under with the porn on the TV?
No, but I mean, is there porn?
Yeah, no, there
Because
is,
they're
there
going-
is.
They're going down the side of a building, and there's like all these windows that they're passing
Yeah.
really fast.
Yeah,
but
so
if you
it's so
slow it
fast that
down,
you can't
Yeah.
even see
yeah,
it.
it's in one frame or
Yeah.
2 frames, and it's like if you see if you slow it down or you pause it, like there's like
Yeah.
a woman like completely naked, like standing in
Yeah.
the
I love that
Yeah,
shit.
me too.
There's a few where like you have to, like you said, you have to slow it down,
Yeah.
get at the exact
And I always remember
moment. But like there's also ones that are so blatant, like Little Mermaid.
Oh,
So
the dicks.
blatant.
And
Well,
the
dicks,
boner.
the dick, the boner.
The boner is like
fucking
so obvious.
boner.
Like the priest gets a fucking boner
there's some where
at
it's
the
like,
other
yeah,
wedding.
well, if you like slow it down and look at the clouds from the left angle, and you have
It
to be
spells
high, and
sex.
it does this.
Oh no,
and
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But this is like
Yeah.
a
the Lion King
blatant
one is like, oh yeah, that one's
Yeah,
boner.
yeah. I love
Like-
that one actually, and I just love it because like I just remember being a kid and like popping in like the the VHS and like with like the button like pause, and it's like
Trying to get it to the moment.
click,
Yeah.
click. But yeah, like the boner one was like the most ridiculous one, and the cover of the movie, the castle,
It's all dicks.
It's all dicks. It's
And I'm
fucking
not.
hilarious.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining. I think it's great. If I worked for Disney, you make a ton of money, and you get to do whatever the fuck you want. Apparently, I think
Totally.
it's amazing that they did.
Oh
that.
yeah, they all
People
have
are all
to
up in
have-
arms. Oh, my children.
They
Well,
all
you know
have to
what?
have a sense of humor.
I didn't even know that shit was happening till I was fucking damn near 30 years old. So kids don't know what's going on. I think it's great.
Like that's the sort of thing that you see on BuzzFeed. Like
I once dated, for those of you who know me, some of you out there are going to know this man. I once dated a boy who was like, you want to watch some porn one night? And I was like, yeah, of course, whatever. And he put on Disney porn. He put on like Raja, which was like Jasmine's tiger from Aladdin, like fucking her.
Oh my God,
and
that's
this is
hilarious.
What, it wasn't like a funny thing where he was like, no, it'll be funny. He was like, okay, now touch me.
Okay, so like
Yeah,
that's
like,
a little
he
weird
thought
because
it
like
was
I love
hot.
watching that stuff because it's funny.
Oh, he was totally into it. That's what got him off. Was like
Yikes.
cartoon characters.
I gotta go. My watch is beeping. Bye.
That is so. I'm sorry, that's fucking weird.
Well, I mean, if that wasn't what
like
ended the
porn parody,
relationship,
great. Like there's all kinds of really, really funny, awesome ones, but like that's
no, he loved it.
yeah, that's some different stuff. Whatever turns your crank, man.
Speaking of turning cranks, this woman, I'm assuming this is Deborah Winters, who, so the lamp is at the museum now, and she was just almost rubbing it, and the tip started,
Just the tip.
just the tip, the red jewel
It's
tip
rotating.
is now turning, so I think that is going to unleash the djinn. But yeah, well, I looked into other genies that are in pop culture, and in my opinion, I think the best John Hughes movie is Weird Science. That's just me. That's my opinion. Never really gotten into Pretty in Pink and like 16 Candles and like
Fair enough.
the Breakfast Club is awesome. But
Weird Science is a good movie.
love Weird Science. But the thing about Lisa is she doesn't come out of anything. She was artificially made.
Yeah.
So she's basically like an artificially made genie that grants wishes. But the difference with her is that she has the power to refuse any wish that she pleases to teach the boys a lesson.
Yeah.
But I've always
Sweet
been a
tits.
big fan of that movie and Bill Paxton when she turns him into that fucking weird like goblin troll guy who just like shits all over himself. Like I fucking love him in that movie. He's like I love him in that
Well,
movie.
we can't forget about Wishmaster.
Oh yeah, that's definitely something that I was gonna mention. I love the first one.
We just rewatched the first one like
it's
6
good.
months ago.
Okay, like a lot of people will be like, "Oh, it's just one of those like bad '90s movies,"
No.
but I love it actually.
That opening scene, right?
That opening scene is like a massacre. Like it's insane.
That was
like
good.
the fucking body that is like melting and then the skeleton just pops out of its skin. Like that part is fucking hilarious. That part is amazing.
I love the concept of Wishmaster.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's great. It's just like Monkey's Paw, right? Like you wish for something and then you get it, but not exactly
It's
what you
I
fun.
wanted.
know, like it's like, and there's always, like a price to pay, or like he's always gonna
Yeah.
trick you.
Yeah.
I've always been a big fan of the first one. Although the acting is not good. Like, remember we were watching it, and like that one lady's like, "You son of a bitch!" It's like, what? She's bad. She's bad. But I love that there's so many cameos in that movie, and like I'm pretty sure Wes Craven had something to do with it. But like Ted Raimi has a cameo in it. Tony Todd, fucking Kane Hodder, and he has a sweet mullet. In it.
Yeah.
He's like the security guard in it. But yeah, I've always been a big fan of Wishmaster. The second one is not very good at all. It actually has a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Ooh,
yeah,
ouch. That's
yeah, it's
brutal.
pretty bad. But I've
burns.
never seen, there's 4 Wishmasters, and I've never seen 3 and 4. Have you?
No, I haven't watched.
They're probably terrible.
And they don't, it's a different actor that plays the Jinn too.
Oh,
Like it's not the same, because that guy's fucking creepy.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, he's awesome. But I'm pretty sure in the first Wishmaster, that fucking guy that plays a bum and everything is a bum in that movie
Is
too.
he really?
Because he grants the bum a wish.
Oh.
And then he dies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
of course.
basically he tricks people into, you know, like admitting something like out of their wish, and then he kills them to like obviously like gain power. But yeah, so another mention of jinns and genies in pop culture that I'm a big fucking fan of Supernatural. Like everyone who knows me like knows I love that show. The writing is fantastic. Like it's such a good it's epic. Like I do hate that word, but it really is. And their version of a jinn is they don't grant wishes, but they cause their victims to like enter like a dream like world where their wish is granted, but in reality it's like draining and feeding on their blood.
Oh.
Yeah, and
That's
in
kinda
order
fucked
to
up.
like gain power, and but there's 2 different types of jinn, and so that's the one, and the other type is they do the opposite, and instead of granting people's wishes, it takes them to the dreamlike world and shows them their greatest fears, and then it scares them to death, and then
my
they
God.
feed, and they feed
Cool.
onto the like they feed on the fear of that.
Cool.
Yeah,
Jesus.
like they come up with some pretty fucking neat things on that show. It's pretty awesome.
Well,
If
by
anybody,
the way, Yasmina, I feel like we
Yes.
talk about Supernatural every episode. I feel like Supernatural, you bring up every episode as much as we talk about Nicolas
Cage, Nick Cage, our boyfriend.
That took me forever to
He's
get
our
it.
one true god. I mean,
So
Yeah.
obviously.
you guys must be used to. I think she's the only addict. I don't know, Morgan. Are you a Supernatural addict?
I've
She's
never watched
Oh,
it.
you've never
seen
watched
it.
it. I watch
No.
it with Yas from time to time. I
No.
really enjoy it, but I'm not invested.
I don't know. I have a problem. Like most of the shows that I get involved in and I watch are very serious shows.
Right.
I know that Supernatural kind of has like a little bit of funny stuff going on. I
Yeah.
don't know if I can get behind it. But I did like I watched the first episode of Ash versus the Evil Dead, and I thought the silliness was good.
Yeah,
most of
they-
the time
they
I just
held
watch
the
true crime
silliness.
about murder. Stuff,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, murders are great.
Yeah, like I'm a big fan of like documentaries and like obviously like murder mystery like crimes and stuff like that. But I do like fictional things more, I guess, like because I do watch a lot of fictional stuff because I'm into stories. Like I
Yeah.
like to see what can be written, what can be created. Like it's like some of the writing skills that you know out there are like so innovative, you know what I mean, that it's like it's impressive to me. So like that's why like I really enjoy that show because like most of it is a lot of like biblical stories where there's a lot of war happening, but it's definitely like just like that, like the jinn, like somebody like that, like the writers like sat in the writing room and like thought of that. Like I
Did a bunch
love
of
it.
research.
Like
And
I
you know the
Which is
Bible is
great,
the
but-
greatest fiction of all.
yeah.
I think that as far as Supernatural for me goes, I really like the concept of it, but I could never get invested because what season is it on?
Because there's too many, you mean?
Yes. Like, what season is it actually on
12.
right now? 12.
If you
Yeah.
12
if you
seasons of a
start that
show-
show, you are dedicating years of your
No,
life.
but
to
that's
it.
and I get that,
Yeah.
and I get that. You know, catching up on all that I've missed would take me like a lot of weekends of binge watching. But that's not even what it is for me. For me, the turn off of a show that's been going on for that long is that I am so cynical that all I'm thinking is,
Well,
they
when
just
is it
want-
gonna end?
They just want more money. Are they ever gonna end this shit? Like, do they actually have
Yeah.
a plot? Like, do they have an ending in mind? Is it gonna be good, or are they gonna rip this show
Yeah.
into another 5 seasons, and it's just gonna get ridiculous? Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Well, the plot just keeps getting like thicker and more involved and more like inside I
Yeah.
guess. Like, it gets, like, deeper and deeper. But when it
Right.
comes to
So
money,
it's not shitty yet.
they might as well keep making it because they're still making more
Oh
money
yeah,
off
like
of it.
the
Because it's
the
a great
con,
show.
the Supernatural con is like
Yeah, I know.
$600 a ticket, and then
Yeah,
if you want a
it's, like,
picture with them, it's like
insane.
$1,000.
Yeah.
It's like
those guys
$1
make
million.
One
so
million
much
dollars.
money.
Yeah.
So much money. But
I
do
mean, like, there's a reason why shows like that and Doctor Who and, you know, like, that have, like, a myriad of, like, episodes that, you know, like, there's, I would think that, like, you know, like, Star Trek, like, there's a reason why they're, like, that long is because they're good, right?
That's a really good
Like,
point.
because, like, they still keep coming up with, like, good stories and people are invested in it because they're super fans.
Doctor Who's been going
really
on
good
since the 60s.
Doctor Who has been going on for so
Like,
fucking
But
long.
there's been, like, different doctors with different things.
There
Yeah,
has
that's
been,
true,
but
yeah.
I'm pretty sure that like since its inception, like most of the storylines are different. Like no episode is going to be exactly the same.
That's kind of like Supernatural
Yeah.
too, because like with each season, like they're always going to bring like new characters and shit like that.
But
But
Doctor Who's song.
I kind of I kind of understand what you're saying though, because like I also am a big fan of like shows that did end like too short, like Firefly
like
and Buffy.
Breaking Bad. That story
Yeah.
was like the entire series was already planned before it even like
Oh, that was like
came
Lost
out.
too. Actually.
Yeah, it was like every turn, every
They knew when it was. Gonna
Yeah, they
end.
knew exactly what was
Yeah.
going to happen,
I
and
really
the story
like
arc
See, then
was
you might
already
like
written.
Lost then.
I
Because,
need to watch fucking
Lost is
Lost.
actually an amazing show, despite like there's a lot of hype about it on the internet. But the thing about that show that's incredible is that just like that, like Breaking Bad, like J.J. Abrams had like a book that he called like his Bible,
Yeah.
and he wrote the entire series. Before even like starting any
I
filming,
love
any
that.
production, like anything at all, and so he knew where it was going like the entire time.
I love that.
Yeah, but at
like-
least like with like something like Supernatural though, is that like a lot of the stories are biblical stories, right? So like it's like stuff that's like, well, they can just take this out of the Bible or something like that and put it in there, like
Yeah.
like fucking like Satan's son like escaping hell, and you know like but then there's other shows where like they're forced to be canceled because the main lead is like leaving or something like that,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So it's like they have to end it, so they might as well end it with like a boom, which is like what Joss Whedon did with Buffy, because Sarah Michelle Gellar, she wanted to leave the show and they were like, well, we can't replace you, so
Nope.
we're just gonna have to fucking
And
end
Angel
the
was a
show.
good spin-off. I liked Angel.
Yeah.
Spike, and not so much. The Spike show.
There
There
was,
was
a Spike show?
Wow, I love you guys.
That was so weird.
I love you guys both
Like,
so
I
much.
like-
There was a Spike comic.
Okay, maybe that's what I'm thinking of, because I knew there was a Spike
Yeah,
spin-off,
'cause-
and I was like, they were really
no, it's
reaching
a
when they
comic.
took the characters and
Yeah.
then like.
I
really
wasn't
tried to
really
do something
into
with it.
Angel. I tried to watch it, but you know what's funny? Why I didn't like it is because they took all the characters that I didn't like from Buffy and put them in a show. Because I hate Angel, and no one likes Cordelia.
Ew, no.
Yeah, like no one
gross.
likes her. And then they had that hot guy from Roseanne come into the show, like Mark from Roseanne, but then he wasn't hot in Angel. He had like this weird Irish accent, and it was
What?
just not hot at
That
all.
doesn't sound. That
Yeah.
doesn't make sense.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Yeah, like, I don't actually know if we've talked about this fucking show on the podcast yet. I hate The Walking Dead.
So do I.
You know what?
I
I'm
think
just
we
gonna
all
go
do.
out on a
I think
limb.
we all do.
We are a
So-
consensus.
I think we have talked about it very
You want to
early
talk about a
on.
show that's been going on, and I know
Too
it's based. I
long.
know it's based on. Don't come back with comments about it's based on a graphic novel and they're trying to be true to the story, whatever.
'Cause
blah,
they're
blah, blah.
not.
Every fucking episode is the same. I'm sorry.
No,
Every
it's
fucking
true.
episode.
It's true.
You run away from zombies. You survive or you don't. Next episode.
Okay, here's the thing with the Walking Dead TV show. I did watch it from the beginning,
Same
and then
here.
I stopped. I think I want to say it was season 3 when they were in the jail in the
Yeah,
prison.
yeah.
So I stopped watching at that point because
when the guy with the eye patch?
the issue that I
Yeah.
the issue that I have with that show is that I did read some of the comics, and the show is taking
Dragging
too
it out.
fucking
Yeah,
long
exactly.
to catch up to the comic.
Because they want to make money.
Like,
That's
the
a show
comic-
that is blatantly trying to make money, and they're not being
the
true.
comic is like so fucking far ahead
Yeah.
of the show, and then at the point where I think it was in the second season where the little girl was missing,
Yeah.
that took way too fucking why were they concentrating on that for fucking more than one episode? It was like 5 episodes and they were still looking for that little girl. I'm like, hey, you guys need to fucking move it forward.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the other day I came home and Owen, my boyfriend, was watching it. He was like, hey, maybe I'll give it another shot because it's actually apparently it's getting good now. It's like it's back to being really, really good. Like I actually did hear, and what's his name? Dean Morgan, whatever his name is. He was the dad in Supernatural. He's in the show now, and apparently he's like badass. And the new season apparently is awesome. But he was watching it, and it wasn't the new season. It was like maybe like season like 6 or something like that. And it was the blonde girl, and she was in a hospital. And you know how like TV shows will have like 2 separate stories that are occurring in one episode, and then they jump back and forth from the 2 stories?
Yeah.
This one was like the whole fucking episode was just this girl in the hospital, and it was so fucking boring. It was so boring, and that's why I stopped watching it in the prison season, because I was bored as fuck. And then you know what the biggest disappointment about that show is? The fucking special effects are fantastic.
I know.
Like the special effects makeup is so good.
Oh my god.
And it's like we want more of that, and like faster stories.
That was the draw at the beginning.
Oh
Yeah,
my
the
god,
crawling.
that zombie.
crawling.
Was
Yeah,
it
the
like a
crawling zombie, yeah.
Oh my god, I remember being like, this is
I was
on
blown
television?
away. I was blown away.
And it was supposed to continue to be good because they said, I was so excited when the writers had said that they had done all this research into the evolution of a zombie realistically over the course of however long the show was based on, because the zombies would be running out of food. So what would be happening to the zombies? They would start to be deteriorating. So they like took into consideration how the zombies over the course of the seasons would be deteriorating and how they would look. And I was like, that's great. Like they're not going to look the same over the course of 10 years.
Yeah, but then after like a few years,
the zombies
they're just
don't
going
even
to be
matter
bones
anymore.
Yeah, no, it's not about the show.
It's not about zombies anymore.
No, it's not.
And I get people like, well, that's what's good about it. It's not about zombies. It's about humans and the
Yeah,
struggle.
it's
and
a,
the
you know
blah,
what? It's a
blah,
soap
blah.
opera with
It's
the
a soap
backdrop.
opera.
No,
That's
it
exactly
is. Yeah.
It's amnesia.
It's just in the background now. The zombies are just in the background, and it's about the fucking all the human bullshit. It's a soap opera.
And like it's the characters that I don't care about that makes me bored. However, Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character apparently is really fucking badass, and he has like a bat with like barbed wire around it, and apparently like there's like this my guitar player was telling me about it the other day, but he was telling me that in the new season there's like this other like group of people that they find that's like basically like a cult of people, and they keep zombies like in their area, I guess, and like it's like for sport, I suppose, and then they basically like release them, and it's like a game, and then I could be wrong, I'm not sure, like I haven't seen like the new season at all, but then they stick the zombies like heads on sticks.
Oh, cool.
And like apparently like the new season is really good, but yeah, no, I couldn't continue watching that show. I was just so fucking bored.
Yeah, I lost it around that same time as well. Like I tried, and it's just like, you know, if it's just not holding my attention.
Yeah, and I just have one more thing
time
to say about that show. Fuck Norman Reedus. You know why? I've probably said this before. He goes to Fan Expo every year, and when he's there, this is a fucking huge and like annoyance to me. Like if people pay like whatever, like $50 to get like an autograph, or like they pay like $100 to get like a photo op, like they wait in line and they like for hours, and then they just want a photo with him. He's always fucking wearing a hat and sunglasses, like, and he doesn't fucking take them off for pictures, like for photo ops. And I'm like, you know what? That is bullshit. Like if I wanted to like meet like a famous person and I wanted to get my photo with them, and I'm paying like $150 to get a photo with you, take your fucking sunglasses and your hat off. Like that's
know
rude.
Who he is, though, man?
He's not even hot.
Oh my god,
He's
I was
not
gonna say,
hot.
He needs to have a shower.
No, you're
so dirty.
Yeah, like he's not hot at
filthy.
all. I don't know why everybody thinks he's
He
hot.
looks like they put
Even
him
in
in
the
the deep
Boondock
fryer.
Saints, he wasn't
Oh,
hot.
he's
not a hot
horrible
man.
and disgusting.
He's not a hot man at all.
But ugly.
But that's bullshit, dude. Like people want to fucking take their picture with you. Like take your fucking sunglasses and your hat off. Like, that's so disrespectful. Like, they
Yeah.
love you, and, like, they're paying this money just to get, like, fucking 20 seconds of your time to take a photo with you, and, like, you're not even gonna show your face.
It's
I'd
like,
be like, motherfucker, show
Be
your
grateful.
face.
Be grateful.
Yeah. It's like,
You
maybe
know?
he's, like, doesn't have his makeup on or whatever, but, like, who fucking cares?
Be
It's
grateful.
bullshit.
He doesn't seem like a grateful person. I don't know. I think that's rude. Like, at least try.
It is rude, man.
At least try, you know? Sometimes, I get it. You know what? You have a bad day. You don't want to fucking talk to people. That's fine.
But every year, and I go to Fan Expo every year, and I always fucking see him, like, sitting at the fucking signing booth, and I'm like, fucking still wearing his fucking hat and his sunglasses. Like, take them off.
She's in a rage.
Like, take it off.
She's in a rage.
It's bullshit. Like, I just want to say that to him. Like, you're inside, first of all. Take your
Yeah.
fucking sunglasses off. You're not Corey Hart.
Yeah, only
Corey
Corey Hart can wear
Hart.
his
Yeah.
sunglasses
Oh my
at night
gosh.
inside. Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you, Norman
That's a good
Reedus.
Canadian joke, though. Our American listeners won't understand that.
Oh, I thought Corey Hart was American.
No, he's from Canada. He's Canada's own.
I had no idea.
So while we're on the topic of shows, I'm gonna briefly talk about American Horror Story because I know the girls here don't watch the new season.
How do you like it?
I'm obsessed with it. I'm
American Horror
obsessed
Story, I
with
feel
the new
the same
season.
as-
Nope. And I'm going to correct you before you even open your fucking mouth.
Oh, we can
Every
argue-
season is
Alright.
different.
All right.
Every single
I
season is a
watched
different
the
storyline.
first 3 seasons, and
First one's amazing.
Every time I was like, okay,
Second
cool.
one
Like
sucks.
the Gimp, great. You know what? I liked him. I thought, Gimp's great. Like fucking whip my ass, fucking do weird stuff. Cool, great.
Zipper face.
It
But
was hot.
I felt like there was no story. Every single time I try to watch it, I'm like, there's no depth. Where is this actually going? There's no story arc. It's flat. And to me, like, it didn't grab me. Like, I watched the Asylum one. I watched the entire season.
Hated that season.
And I was like, but it doesn't make any sense.
That's why
like,
I hate it.
what's
I've
the
heard
point?
that. I never saw the second one, but I've heard
know,
that
there should
online.
be,
That
like,
people
some
are like,
sort
it
of-
doesn't make any
It
sense.
doesn't.
There's like
The
aliens.
should have been dropped. Other than the aliens,
There
it's
should
great.
like there should be a twist or something.
But anyways, the new season, we can go on about the other seasons, but they don't matter. The newest season is disturbing. The last episode, which I watched today, episode 9, for anyone listening who's seen it, you'll know what I'm talking about, is so disturbing.
Spoiler alert.
I think I know it because I looked it up.
I would never do spoilers. This episode that I watched today, episode 9 and episode 8, were both so disturbing and so gross and like just like I screamed out loud and I messaged
Really?
I
Wow.
messaged my mom and my mom's the one who told me. She's like, the newest episode will really fuck you up. And I was like, bullshit, you're a mom, whatever.
Yeah.
And I watched it and it's really
And you're
disturbing.
like, Mom, why did you
Yeah.
do
the last 5
I was actually
minutes
curious,
is really fucked up, man.
I actually,
Like,
I
it
was
fucked with
curious
me.
what your thoughts were on the new season because
I love it.
I haven't watched it like
And
at
it's
all.
based on
and I
historical facts. Like, it's based on a story that actually
Okay,
happened.
what
Yeah,
is the
I actually
what is the
heard that.
premise?
It's based on the Roanoke, so like settlers
Yeah.
who came into America from Britain or wherever. And obviously,
Like Jamestown.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's, people have to remember that back then, there was no means of communication. Like, letters would take months to get back to your homeland.
Oh, they
and blah,
ended
blah,
up
blah.
eating each other.
Right, so
in
yeah,
Jamestown.
so it's basically kind of like that. It's like this colony that comes over to America. They're scared. There's indigenous people they don't know anything about. They're scared of them. They have no food. They have no shelter. Blah blah blah. And then their whole pack or tribe or what have you goes missing. Unexplicably goes missing.
Yeah.
And so this is American Horror Story explaining what could have happened, and it's very satanic. And there's a lot of like, I know we've talked about like Coven, the season
I liked Coven.
but it was based on North American witchcraft. As far like,
And,
I
like,
mean,
voodoo.
like pointy hats and like witchcraft. Like, I'm going to cast a spell on you. This season is witchcraft in its natural sense, where it's like, the witchcraft they talk about is based in nature. It's like goddesses and like not just like Satan and God, because they didn't come around till recently. These were like old gods, old religions. Like, it's fucking scary. Honestly,
I was
it's
interested to
fucking
hear what
scary.
your thoughts were on the new season because
Kathy Bates is
people like
horrifying.
online, they're saying that it's like getting like horrible reviews. Like, they're saying that this is the worst season out at like ever.
Which-
And I was like, I don't know if it could be
which-
worse than Freak Show.
Which might be because this show has become such a big deal. It's almost like The Walking Dead. And I feel like a lot of the fans who watch American Horror Story now are like,
They're
sorry,
expecting something.
but you're sheep. Like a lot of people,
they're brainwashed.
you're
because they
brainwashed.
love
You're
it. Yeah.
people who are like, oh well, I want to see this and I want to see that, and if I don't see this or that, then it's not a good horror story.
Yeah.
Well, newsflash, you don't know fuck about horror. No, I'm sorry, but a lot of these people who watch horror movies now are like, well, I want to watch something
but,
like The Purge,
you
or I
know,
want to
the
watch something like Paranormal
The person
Activity.
that thinks
Yeah,
that
those
show is
movies.
scary is not somebody that's gonna be watching like movies that we might
That's
be
what I
interested
mean.
in.
So
Yeah.
they're probably gonna be a bad reviews
It's more
because
mainstream.
they genuinely don't. They're probably gonna be a bad reviews because it's my favorite season. I give it 10 out of 10, but I also
Is it better than Hotel?
yes.
Yeah, because Hotel
Way
was
better.
pretty bad.
Way better. I hated Hotel.
Yeah, Free Show I think was the worst one, but I haven't seen Asylum.
Didn't like Asylum.
but
I
the,
loved the first one, which is why we're different with Morgan. I loved the first season.
Yeah,
but
I
I'm
need to-
obsessed with
I liked it
characters.
until about halfway, and then I was like, I don't understand. Like there actually is no plot.
I stopped watching the first season after he buries the girl the college girl
hated
that he had the affair with,
Yeah,
and then I
hated
stopped
her.
watching after that because I was like, well, I don't really care what's going on with these people. I just want to see ghosts.
I just want to see the Gimp.
Yeah, and then so I never
Well,
watched.
You
let me
sexy
tell you that
motherfucker.
what I like about the newest season is the gore. And it's
Yeah.
not the storyline that's disturbing to me. When I say that the last episode was disturbing, the gore is what was disturbing about
Well-
it. Like, it was fucking really hard to watch.
Well, because I heard that in the last episode, I don't know if you want to call it a tribute or a ripoff, but it's like Cannibal Holocaust. Like they pay tribute / ripoff.
I don't agree with that.
Interesting.
What they pay tribute to is legitimate historical facts.
Oh, okay. So like basically being impaled.
Yeah,
Like
being
through-
impaled. People
through the
were
butthole
people
of
were
the mouth.
impaled, and you know what? People always say, "Well, that's a ripoff." Well, that's a ripoff. Well, people were impaled long before
that
Cannibal
movie was
Holocaust.
made. Yeah,
so
I
they
know.
ripped off
Good old
history.
Vlad.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Good old
Vlad.
Vlad. You can't fuck.
It's
can't
not
fuck
ripping
with
it
Vlad.
off.
Can't fuck with Vlad.
You know, it's like someone gets electrocuted, and they're like, "You're ripping off the American prison system." No, it's just someone
Yeah,
getting
I know.
electrocuted. Like,
Well,
you
maybe
just
I'll give it a
gotta-
shot.
I
Okay?
want you to.
I
Please,
usually
please,
like
please.
with American Horror Story, like I will give every season a shot, and I'll keep watching if I enjoy it. Like Coven, like I really enjoyed Coven.
Yeah.
And then I started watching Freak Show, and it was fucking horrible. Like I was like, the characters, the storyline
Brutal.
is so unappealing to me,
They
and
sang a
I
lot.
couldn't
I
do
don't like
it. I couldn't
songs.
do it. But
There
then
were songs.
So many songs.
I didn't even get that far. Like I think I only watched like 3 episodes, and I was
That
like,
makes me
"Fuck all the
sad.
characters on this season."
That
And then
makes
I
me sad.
started Hotel out of curiosity. And Lady
that the one
Gaga
with-
is actually a really good
Is that
actress.
the one with? Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
say.
she
She
she's
won
in
the
this one
Emmy.
too, right? She's
Yeah.
in the new one as well.
And
she's a good
she's
actress.
the
Yeah.
witch in this
Oh,
one.
cool.
Like
and
the
like
forest witch.
And then I started watching Hotel, and then I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. Like they have like the guy like in Seven who fucks people with like
the
a
knife
fucking
dick?
knife dick or whatever. But like it's gory, yeah, and I do appreciate that. But then with Hotel, like the story just lost me again. The characters, like I just wasn't invested in the characters at all. But I'll watch the new one though. Like I'll give anything a shot. Like I'm open minded.
Yeah.
I like Jamestown. I think the whole historical thing sounds interesting.
I think
maybe
Kathy
I'll
Bates
try
is
it
great.
because I
Oh,
find
Kathy Bates is
I find
awesome.
that
I love
story to
her.
be like it's quite interesting when you get into the true details.
No, Morgan, this
Body
is,
parts in the fucking garbage pile, man. Like they were eating people straight up
Well,
because
no,
they were starving to death. It was crazy.
it's not a lot of, I know people are going to be like, well, it's not about cannibalism this season, and it's not exactly, but the reason that I like this one the most, maybe, and I'm not that person who's like, if you don't like this season the best, it means you suck at horror. No, I like it because I love history. And this is all based
Yeah.
in like the 1800s. Like it takes its facts from the 1800s.
That's
which
cool.
is-
And like, does it
and like
take
the early
place?
1800s.
Okay, so it
well,
doesn't
because
take
I was
place
gonna say
now.
because like
Yes,
Jamestown
it
was
does.
Jamestown was
Oh.
like 1600s, but
Oh no,
Or does it,
no,
does it
you're
go
right.
back and forth?
it's just
Yeah.
different,
Oh,
like a
okay.
settler type.
Sorry, yeah. Do you know
scenario.
what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I like the thought when you get to learn about what people did before electricity.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They were fucking brutal. Humans were brutal, and
Oh,
that's
yeah.
fascinating.
No, it is. History rocks, kid. History is for cool,
I know. That's all I
for
do
cool
is
people.
watch Nova and PBS, and I'm such a loser.
Yeah, well, I've actually been watching a lot of Drunk History lately, and I fucking love that show.
I don't know this show.
Oh my god! You've never seen Drunk History? Oh my god, it's so fucking funny. It's hilarious. Like the guy who created the show, it's mostly Canadians, but fucking comedians. But they get drunk with him, and they get not just like drunk, like they're wasted,
like smamming
and
drunk.
they tell stories, and then they have like later on like actors reenact the stories, and it's dubbed with the drunk person's voice.
No.
It's hilarious. I can't believe you've never fucking seen
no.
it. It's
I don't
so
know
fucking
this.
funny. We're gonna watch some later.
Okay.
But yeah, so right now, okay, so a lot of when we were doing our reading about The Outing online, is like a lot of people did say that there is like a gap in this movie where like nothing happens. So that whole time that we were talking, nothing really was
is happening.
Like they're basically like the museum has the lamp, and at
They're
this
still
point,
at the museum.
Yeah, so they're at the museum. So at this point, the teenagers decided to like stay while it's closed and stay overnight. So I think now is the time where shit is about to happen.
Hopefully, because oh my fucking god.
Well, I didn't know this, but did you guys know that Tobe Hooper directed a movie called Jinn that came out in 2013? I didn't know that.
You know what? I think
I've never heard
saw
of
it.
I've seen like the
in
cover,
my-
but yeah, I've never
the
even
cover,
heard
I've
of it.
No, I've never.
I wonder if
seen
it's
the
any
movie.
good. And also
Interesting.
Kazam. You guys remember
Oh,
Kazam?
With Shaquille O'Neal?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
It was Shazam, wasn't it? Or was it Kazam?
I think it was Kazam.
Was it Shaquille O'Neal or was it?
No, Shaq. It was straight up.
Oh,
Yeah,
it
Shaq.
was.
It was
Okay.
straight up Shaq.
It was straight up
Who
Shaq.
was
It was Shaq Attack.
Who was that other guy who did
Sinbad?
Sinbad?
Oh,
Oh, terrible.
Sinbad. Oh my fucking god.
That's funny. Yeah, Kazam is with Shaquille O'Neal.
It is Kazam.
Oh man, it's so fucking terrible.
Well, yeah, and like this is like the parody that like the Genie has become. It's like, oh, funny. Like,
Kazam has a
I think
2.8 on IMDb.
2.8.
Did you know
Yeah.
that The Outing has a higher rating than Kazam? It has a
Oh.
5.2 on IMDb.
That's awesome.
Double what Shitty Shaq in his fucking shitty movie.
Shitty Shaq.
So, okay, I just want to say this right now. This movie has like so many ridiculous taglines.
Oh really?
I was looking.
Oh, what are they?
I was looking. Okay, but I gotta get really close to the microphone. Make a wish, if you dare.
Ooh.
Are you scared yet? Also, this one I was like, this is the dumbest tagline ever. It could just be anything. Don't say see you later. Say goodbye.
That's fucking lame.
That has nothing to do with a genie
I don't
at all.
get it.
Oh
I
my
don't
god.
get it.
Also, there's one more. Make a wish. You'll wish you were dead.
Yeah, I saw that one coming. That one's pretty predictable.
Yeah.
Fuck, they're all
you could
really
do like
bad.
make a wish
Yeah.
and then like wish for disembowelment or
Yeah.
something. You could wish for a lot of things.
That's
Horrible
hilarious.
things. Yeah, so there's lots of weird taglines for this movie.
I'm a big fan of these girls, the teenage girls. The one has a side ponytail, and the other one's wearing this like zebra print like side thing shirt. It's very interesting, but they just so they've stayed in the museum and now it's closed because the one girl was distracting the security guard who sings opera.
Yeah, I haven't seen him sing yet though.
Yeah,
was
he
just
was just
singing
now.
right now.
When you were reading the taglines.
Yeah.
He was,
Oh, I'm
he was
sorry.
like walking around.
I missed it.
You were invested in the taglines.
Yeah,
You were speaking like an actor.
I was delivering my lines.
Well, you know what I am a big fan of though of this movie is the cover art, like the poster for the movie. Like we posted it on our Instagram, and the artist is Drew Struzan, and he actually was the fucking same guy that did the artwork for Indiana Jones, Back to the Future, Star
Really?
Wars, and he also did the artwork for The Thing, and he did it in one night. He did it overnight. Like John Carpenter was like, I need this tonight. And he just finished it in like
The
one
one with
night.
like the glowing light
Yeah.
out of the head?
What?
Yeah.
This
Which
man
pretty
is
cool.
amazing.
I know. Yeah, I thought that was
Holy
kind of cool.
Shit. That's fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's actually really nobody else that's that well, this one other person that's as interesting that worked on this movie. Everybody else is like, I don't know who the fuck you are. But Robert Burns was
Mr. Burns?
Yes. Well, he is a Mr. Burns. He's
Bobby
Mr.
Burns?
He's Mr. Robert Burns.
I said hop in. Sorry, I just love The Simpsons too much.
But yeah, so he did art direction on this movie, and he actually also worked on, he was the art director on The Howling, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Hills Have Eyes, and Reanimator.
Cool.
And he also did set decoration for From Beyond.
Oh, nice.
So he's been
involved in some good titles.
Tons of great movies. But other than that, there's really nobody else in this movie that's like done anything.
No, I know.
The director actually apparently directed Farrah Fawcett's first commercial.
Ooh.
That's his only other claim to fame. At the
I hope
university.
she blew him for it.
I know. Well, I mean, pretty much. It was at the University of
At least
Texas
he
at
got
Austin.
a blowjob out of it.
And
Wait,
yeah,
is Farrah Fawcett hot?
Yeah. She was like hot shit.
she's
back
the
then.
ultimate babe.
She
Oh,
was
I'm
like,
thinking of Bo Derek.
Same thing.
Bo Derek was pretty hot too.
Hot
Same
too.
thing.
Yeah, they're like, white bitches that are
That's what I
hot
Yeah.
on a poster.
So now the djinn is possessing someone. Oh no, the djinn I think is possessing the girl with the blonde hair, and the security guard just found the body in the office right now, and
the spear is
is
being-
moving by itself. I love it when like a weapon is coming at somebody in a horror movie and they don't move.
They
Get
just,
on your
like,
belly.
Yeah.
Get on your belly.
I know, like in Creepshow when Ed Harris is like lying on the
And-
grave and the tombstone
Yeah.
like is like moving and shaking and he's just lying there like not moving.
Yeah.
Every time I watch that scene, I'm just like, okay, Ed Harris,
Ew.
you've been in a lot of like fucking Oscar-winning movies. Like, just move. Well, me and Megan, I had to make her watch because she's never fucking seen them before.
What haven't I seen?
A scary movie.
Oh my
I
God.
made Megan watch Scary Movie for the first time ever
laughed
this
so
week.
hard.
I was like, I couldn't believe it when you told me that you've never seen those movies a couple weeks ago. I was like, what?
And it's funny because I knew a lot of the scenes only because people quote them.
Yeah,
or
people
have
obviously like
quoted
what's
them,
up is like a
and
big
like the
one.
internet.
Yeah.
But
But,
that
like,
movie was fucking hilarious.
dude, the first two were hilarious. The rest suck because the Wayans brothers have nothing to do with them. But I fucking love Brenda. Brenda's my favorite. Out of my face, out of my face. Shakespeare.
Shakespeare.
Shakespeare and love. You want some chicken?
I just think that I know when we were watching it, Yasmina, you were like, it's kind of like the humor is really like obvious humor.
It's very like 90s.
I fucking love that shit.
I know you do. That's why I was like, I can't believe you've never fucking seen it before.
I love when a joke is so obviously set up and you're
Yeah.
like, I know exactly what they're gonna do.
Yeah, like when he
here,
comes out of
and
his
then they
trailer
do
and it's like
it.
right next to the high school.
Yeah.
It's like so predictable.
I
But
love
like
that.
I love the guy who plays the dad. I can't remember his name, but he is the guy from The Burbs who just recently passed away. But I love him so much. And he's like, oh yeah, and like those sick bastards planted drugs all over the house. And then I love the part where anything with Doofy is the best. Like Doofy and Brenda
my
are
God.
the best. Like he's
Gail Swallows.
Gail Swallows.
Gail Swallows.
Oh my god.
So hot. He's like at the end of the movie when like they pull a 7 and fucking like or is it 7?
What are you talking
Which
about?
movie is it at the very end of the movie where Doofy like is not actually mentally disabled
Right.
and then I'm pretty sure that's 7 where
With Brad Pitt, that
yeah
movie?
yeah at the very end of 7 doesn't he like he gets
You
away?
know I've never made it to the end of that movie, right?
Okay.
Because it's
Oh
so
my God.
horrifying.
Yikes. Okay.
Really?
Well, I
No, it's
That
will
movie,
not- I will
that
not
movie
talk.
fucked me up.
yeah. That's a
No,
good
I
movie.
watched all the gore. I watched every
Sorry,
single...
sorry. It was Usual Suspects.
Okay, good.
Sorry. The end of Scary Movie is the end of Usual
okay.
Suspects. But yeah, no, fucking. I love the end of Scary Movie because Doofy is the killer, and when he like fucking
hot.
takes off his mustache and shit, like
He's smoking a cigarette.
smoking hot. He is so hot. But now I have to make you watch Scary Movie 2 because we recently watched The Haunting, which is horrible. And I was like watching The Haunting and in my mind being like, well, I know what's going to happen because I've seen Scary Movie 2 like a million times.
Oh, I'm excited. I
It's,
can't wait
it's
to
like
see it.
basically Scary Movie 2 is like the better version of The Haunting.
Oh,
and
that
Tim
was
Curry,
so bad.
you can't go wrong with Tim Curry.
He's in
Scary
it?
Movie
Yeah.
2 is like
That's
when
my
you guys
terms.
were younger, like my sister Mercedes and Yasmina, it was like it's like they quoted everything.
know.
It was
We
like
used to
it's
watch it a
still
lot.
ingrained in their
Is that the small-
lexicon.
Yeah, the small hand. Like,
Yeah.
take the
Take
small
the strong hand.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
and David
okay.
Cross is in it, and I love David Cross.
Oh,
like,
love him.
oh man, it's so fucking funny. It's hilarious. What else did we watch? We watched, me and Megan watched Fender Bender this week. And I've heard, I actually, like, leading up to watching it, really good things online about it. And I was like, okay, I'm going to, like, sit down and, like, finally watch it. And it was pretty intense. I have one bone to
disappointed.
pick with it, though.
I was disappointed.
See, I thought it was a good movie. And, like, it's, like, your basic, like, slasher home invasion
yeah.
kind of movie.
The kills were anticlimactic for me.
I liked the very beginning, the
Yep.
first kill, when he stabs her in the fucking lower back.
Oh, you know
That
what?
would suck.
Do you know what? Morgan, you were here for this movie, so we can all talk about this. It was disappointing for me in the sense that it wasn't Don't Breathe.
Oh,
Don't
and that
Breathe
movie
was stressful the whole
Yeah, it
movie, and I
was.
was hoping
Yeah.
that Fender Bender, because it's a kind of the same premise. It's not at all, but kind of the same premise as in, like, she's
Like
kind of
intense.
trapped. She's
Yeah.
trapped in her own house, and there's a killer trying to get her.
Yeah.
So I was hoping that it would be more intense. I was hoping the kills would be more brutal. I was hoping the
Yeah.
acting would be better. I was hoping the storyline would get more in depth. The end of that movie really upset me
It was, I guess,
in
independent.
a disappointing way.
Yeah.
Like when you find out, you know, at the end of the movie, there's like this thing where they're like, and so this is how he decides who he's doing it to. Or I don't want to spoil anything, but it
Yeah.
was just like, are you fucking
I have good and bad things to say about it. Like, I think overall it was a well done movie, but it was just like every other, like, fucking, like, horror movie where, like, the bitch isn't calling the cops and you're, like,
Yeah.
yelling at the TV, like,
like,
why are
why
you fucking
don't you
calling the
do
cops? Like, call the
something
cops, call the
rational?
cops.
He did
Yeah.
smash their phones. Oh,
Yeah, but
spoiler.
even just, like, at the beginning, though, like,
Yeah.
when she got that
Oh,
first text.
don't even. Yep.
Like, when
No.
she gets the first text that's like, he knows what you're doing, and, like, you should be calling the fucking cops, you dumb bitch. But obviously, granted, that's, like, if they did,
And the part
then
where-
the movie wouldn't happen.
Spoilers. And the part where she could have killed him, but she fucking didn't. She walked away and went back into
Yeah,
the house.
yeah.
Like, he's lying
It's
there.
like-
Kill him. Cut his head
And
off.
that's like what you see in horror movies from the 80s, because it was expected, right?
Yeah.
But now it's like, it's very, it was kind of ignorant to play it like that. But what I liked about it was I liked that it was a teenage girl that was being stalked, because it made her more vulnerable. So
Classic.
it made you feel a little worse for her because she was very vulnerable and young. And the other thing that I liked about it was at the end, I'm not going to spoil anything, but you see, usually, like, in the horror movies where there's a killer, like, after the suspects, the fucking victims are dead, then the movie's over and that's it.
I like
but
that
what I
too.
liked about it was that it
like that
didn't
too.
finish, and it ended with his routine of what he does in his day,
I
like,
actually
the
really
next
like
day.
that.
And I loved that they did that. So now,
Sorry.
no.
I was gonna say, and I also liked that you see his face at the beginning of the movie. He has a talking role. You
Yeah.
see his face. He takes off his sunglasses. Like, you actually are introduced to the killer,
And
then
he's
there's
creepy.
And then there's no twist.
Yeah.
Which you'd think I would be saying negatively, but I mean it like
Sometimes
it's
you
just
like
him.
something simple.
It's just him. They show you
Yeah.
who he is, and then you think that's not going to be him.
Yeah.
Why
Well-
would they show us him? No, they show you him, and then you're like, okay,
Yeah,
I know
and you know
who
what?
it
Who
is.
plays him? Who plays the killer? Do you remember that movie, that Greg Araki movie, Mysterious Skin? Sorry.
Yeah.
The coach.
Oh,
Yeah, the coach is the killer in Fender Bender.
really? Well, it's interesting because, I mean, like, a lot of times, like Megan was saying, like, oh, they introduce you to him and all this stuff, and it's like, well, a lot of times the most normal people that you think are normal are
Yeah,
sadists,
but this
are
guy
fucked
was-
up and serial killers.
He was
right?
really
So-
good at acting really creepy, because
Yeah.
like basically what he does is he'll hit somebody with his car, and then they exchange information.
Right,
so
and
that's
then
how he
he-
knows like
yeah.
your fucking phone number and where you live.
Yeah.
But what he does when he jumps to different victims, the victim that he killed before, he has their address and name, and what he does is he changes the first name to a random name,
Okay.
and the next person that he hits, which is like the next victim, he gives that person his former victim's address,
Right.
and then the changed first name.
Yeah,
So I
so-
thought that was actually kind of smart.
Yeah, it
so then like
confuses
when
people.
by the time like the new person is dead, it's like almost impossible for the cops to catch him, because
Right.
like they're still looking. They have to like go back
Yeah,
you
they're
know, like,
investigating down the wrong path.
yeah,
basically,
so I thought that was really cool.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the woman here in the outing was taking a bath in a museum.
P.S. I was gonna say, how dirty does she have to be to fucking? Take
Well, I think
Wait,
she
They
wanted
did
to
it
have
at Slaughter
sex,
High.
right?
Remember Slaughter High? They took a
Yeah,
bath too?
yeah. Well, I think that she
I
wanted.
just decided to take a bath in like a weird place.
Yeah, so I think that she wanted to have sex, but she felt dirty, so that's why she was taking the bath. But why a bath is in a fucking museum is beyond my
Girl, just splash a
comprehension.
cooch, you
And I
know?
like how
Also,
she was
just have
attacked by
dirty
snakes.
sex.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. And but there's snakes, and they're hungry, so they fucking ate her boobies.
Oh yeah, those cobras just fucked her right up.
Yeah.
This girl's gonna get raped.
For stealing that hat.
No, but she is for real.
I know. I did.
By that guy?
Yeah, I did read the plot. Apparently, the
This
the
might be our
uncut.
first rape movie that we've done on our podcast.
Yes,
Yes, it is. It is. It's definitely
Yeah.
the first rape
Oh, we should
Apparently,
do I Spit on Your Grave.
no,
That's
let's
an
not.
entire
That's a
movie.
boring
Let's not
movie,
do
though.
that. No.
I think that the remake was better, in my opinion.
I liked the remake.
was
The remake-
amazing.
I liked
Yeah.
What
it.
I didn't need was the 15 minutes of rape.
Yeah.
Well,
But
I mean, it's a rape revenge movie.
I didn't need the 15 minutes of rape.
it's worse than the original, though. In the original, it's like half the movie she's
Yeah.
being raped.
Oh yeah, it's awful.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's long.
The entire movie is
It's
a
like
rape
basically
scene.
like the
Yeah.
whole fucking movie is
Yeah.
her getting raped.
I'm glad I never saw it.
Yeah, it's kind of boring. But like I admire the remake more because the kills are better.
kills are amazing.
The kills are fucking amazing. Every kill in that movie made it better than the original, in my opinion. But also, yeah, like there's
Did you
not
see the
as
second
much.
one? I saw it on your grave,
No, there's a third one now too.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, no. See, this is bad because I can't keep doing this.
Also, this guy just got
Ugh.
his dick bitten
Trouser
by a snake.
Trouser snake,
Ugh.
anyone?
That's actually one of my biggest fears is getting bit by a snake sitting on the
In
toilet.
your vagina?
Getting your
No,
dick bit by a
well,
snake.
possibly, but like fucking toilet snake, man. Like that's like one of my biggest fears.
Yasmina.
Getting bit by a snake that comes out of the toilet. Fuck that.
The most logical person I know in my whole entire life just told me that she's afraid of a snake coming out of the toilet and biting her twat.
You know that's happened, right?
I'm putting the microphone down.
It's happened. Like it has happened. Like
Maybe
snakes
in, like,
have
Australia.
crawled.
You read the tabloids, my dear.
I read CNN. No, it's actually happened. Like actually, in Australia, that shit happened.
well,
it's like
in Australia,
normal.
everything
Yeah,
happens.
I know.
Yeah, in Australia,
Nightmares happen.
Nightmares happen!
where huntsman spiders the size of two fucking man's hands are coming
Yeah.
out. And
They live
Did
in
you
your
guys-
house,
Did you guys
yeah.
see that fucking spider that woman had on her fucking broom recently? It was a huntsman spider, and it was the
No.
size of the bottom of a broom in Australia. And she was like, "Oh, I want to save it." I would have been like, "Smash it!"
Yeah,
You
fuck
imagine
that.
the guts that would come out of
Yeah,
it.
it would be so gooey.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait, look at the. Oh wait,
The
there's
rape scene!
But wait, there's weird like.
He's
look
wearing
at the,
like a
look
weird
at the
like.
mask.
It's like
Oh, they're like fucking with weird masks.
oh
on.
my god! So the mask is like fucking
It's
twisting
like-
his head
Yes!
around. Oh, that's awesome. yes, finally
this
some
is
interesting
awesome.
things are happening.
Oh, hey, was that a flying head like fucking
Mystics
Mystics
in
in
Bali?
Bali?
That's hilarious.
I can't believe we actually watched that movie. I just
Yeah.
want to say now, I wish I had that hour and 20 minutes back.
I know, like we should have just watched that like 20-minute scene or whatever, 15 minutes.
Although I must say, it inspired us to do this podcast. So
Yeah, that's true.
I'm glad.
And I like the noise that her head makes when she's flying. It's
Yeah.
like
How do you guys fucking remember any of that?
I don't know. I remember things. I remember numbers
man.
too, which is
Goddamn
really
memory.
weird.
Me too.
I feel like the chick in this movie, not is that the chick? No.
There's a couple of chicks.
No, like the chick I just saw trying to bust in to save the rape victim.
Oh, yeah.
Reminded me of the girlfriend from Nightmare on Elm Street 2. She
Kim
was like
Myers.
kind of ginger, skinny nose.
Yeah, her name's Kim Myers. She's also in Heavy Metal Summer.
Oh.
And
my
Hellraiser
God.
4.
Yes, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I know she's in a Hellraiser.
We watched
Yeah.
Heavy Metal Summer recently.
Yeah, we've watched that movie a
It's
lot.
good.
I love that fucking movie.
It
We
was
have
still
to make
good.
Megan watch it.
Yeah.
You do. Oh, Yasmina, we might do this movie for a podcast. Nay, we will do this movie for a podcast.
Nay, I say nay.
I say nay. So we're not gonna get too into it, but Yaz and I fucking got so fucked up on Halloween. You guys don't even know. We started a movie at 5 a.m. Yasmina and I.
Yeah, like I went to bed. No, I think we started at
6:30.
like Yeah.
Dude, we went to sleep at 6:30.
Yeah.
So we watched this movie called Death Spa, and
Oh
it's
my
not
God.
even because we were so drunk and stoned from partying on Halloween. This movie is incredible.
Yeah, like it actually blew my mind. Like I honestly was just expecting like your average 80s
Like, bad rotten ass
killer
movie, yeah.
movie where some people get killed in a spa or like a fitness center, but it's way more than that. Like so much fucking shit happens in that movie. Like we were so fucked up. Like it was like fucking like 5 a.m, and we were like, this movie is amazing. Like it was amazing. It was
We're gonna have to
fucked,
watch
man.
it. Morgan, you're gonna have to see it.
Where did you hear about this movie?
No.
Where did you
Well,
find
I've just heard of it.
Is it like
just like
Deathbed, the bed that eats
yeah, I
people?
know, right? No, it's
Killer Microwave.
I've just heard of it just from like doing research on like 80s horror movies, and it's always the one that was on one of my lists or something like that. And then it popped up on 123 Movies, and I
Oh.
was like, oh, let's give this a shot. And we started watching it, and it was like your basic average like amazing 80s
Yeah.
fucking like movie with like fucking the aerobics. Like camel toe,
Yeah.
or like fucking
Yeah.
outfits at the gym, and then people start getting killed, and it's just like your average run of the mill. But then like shit gets really fucked up, and it's like it totally. It's like sidetracked me. Like I was just like, I did not expect it to go this
No.
way at all. So we're
But we
definitely gonna
can't-
do that.
Yeah, we can't talk about
I don't
it.
even remember most of it, dude. Like I was seriously like so fucking.
Well, the
drunk.
cover's pretty
was-
fucking awesome.
I was so fucked
Yeah.
up. I just remember being legitimately impressed.
I
so
was
we will-
very impressed.
We will watch that.
Yeah,
It's like a sexy, like, aerobics lady with a skull face, and there's, like, a guy on, like, a fucking chest press machine, like, burning in hell in the background. It's pretty fucking amazing.
dude, I loved it. I really did. We should definitely do that for the podcast.
It
for
has a
sure.
5 out of 10.
It's on the list.
I'm very excited. Michael's health club is besieged with a series of terrible murders involving killer
Murders.
saunas
Murders.
and grisly devices. Michael's wife killed herself a while before, and her brother holds Michael responsible. Michael needs to
remember
stop the bloodshed before he loses all of his clients.
Spoiler alert, he loses all of his clients.
No spoiler. It was awesome. You should watch it.
It sounds ridiculous. I can't imagine. Like Deathbed. The bed that eats people.
Did I tell you that I actually like watched most of that movie with my brother on
Yeah.
YouTube? It's so bad.
I can imagine.
It's pretty awesome, actually.
What year is it? Do you know? Is it 80s or is it
I want to say it
70s?
was 70s. Let me look it up.
It sounds ridiculous. Have you guys ever seen Crazy Fat Ethel before?
Fuck yeah.
Well, I know you might have because like that was a movie that we had rented years
Yeah.
ago. Do you know about
No.
this movie?
Well, there's two,
Yeah.
and the first one I think
It's
is
called Criminally Insane.
Criminally Insane, and the second one is called Fat Ethel.
Yeah, and she's like hungry and she
Fat
eats,
Ethel too.
She kills people to get to food.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
It's out of control.
But yeah, Deathbed came out in 1977,
Oh.
and I like that it's actually called Deathbed.
The bed that eats?
Colon. The bed that eats. But I thought it was the bed that eats people, but
Yeah,
it's not
no, it's just
people.
the
It's
bed that
just
eats.
Deathbed. The bed that eats.
It eats everything. If you throw a hamburger on the bed, it'll fucking eat that too.
That's amazing.
No big deal. Oh,
So-
the zombie's coming to life.
Oh, is it a mummy?
Yeah.
The mummy!
Kufu.
The mummy!
Okay, so this movie started to get good. There's
Yeah,
some, like,
so the mummy is like fucking biting the guy's neck, and he's like, ow, 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 ow.
it looks good. I always appreciate that kind of.
I like that it still has
special
hair.
effects. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like bones.
And then he's like,
What
"Man,
is
going
the-
back to sleep."
What are the hair
Smoke came out of
follicles
it.
attached to?
Yeah.
And he went back to sleep.
And smoke it. It's
He's
like,
like,
he,
I just came out of my tomb to take a bite of your neck, and now I'm back.
he
to
ate him
bite.
and then he farted this fucked up cloud.
And bye. Well, in recent horror news, they announced that Max Landis, John Landis's son, is remaking An American Werewolf in London.
Yaz and I have talked about this. She's excited.
I'm indifferent. I will form no opinion until I see the movie.
I
don't
know that it's his son, and that might mean that it might be better than. But I have.
Yeah, but like, you know
We'll
what?
see.
I
We'll
don't
see.
know. Oh wait, the genie!
Oh, the genie
There he
is finally here! He looks
he-
like a fucking green turd.
He looks good though.
Yeah.
I like him.
And he shoots lightning bolts out of his mouth.
He doesn't look good.
No, he looks great.
Look at him.
No, he doesn't.
He's
I know. It's 80s special effects. I think he looks
I love
fantastic.
creatures.
He reminds me of Cellar Dweller.
Yeah, oh, I love Cellar Dweller. Does he
No,
have
he
feet?
doesn't look good. You guys are high as fuck.
No way,
He's
I love
talking.
it.
What is he saying to them? I honestly can't understand what he's saying.
So
No,
speaking
me
of
neither.
Aladdin,
He sounds
there's
like
that
Colosseum.
scene in Aladdin where the sand pit opens up and it's like a tiger sand pit and it's like, oh, it's like the diamond in the rough.
Sorry, in
Remember?
what?
In Aladdin, when the tiger sand pit at the
No,
very
I
beginning,
don't
he's
remember.
like, the diamond. That's what he sounds like. You can't understand a goddamn thing he's saying.
He just sounds like this.
Yeah.
It's like Colosseum.
I know you guys say you think this looks good because it's the 80s, but think of how many incredible movies came out in the 80s.
There's a lot of great movies.
Yeah, like Creepshow, the crate monster obviously looks better.
Even any of the Freddy
But I
or
like,
Jason
honestly,
or,
like creature features and slashers are like my two big favorites
Oh, of course.
kinds. So, but like anything that looks like this, I love. Like anything
I
that's like
know, like, it's
cheesy,
cute.
like even like
He's
the gate.
so
Like the gate
adorable.
is my favorite.
It kind of reminds me a little bit of
Yeah,
that
like
kind of
it-
thing too.
reminds me of The Gate for sure.
Yeah, like that movie is like my favorite creature feature, and like the effects are shitty, but I love it because it's like nostalgic to me.
Most of the budget probably went on that giant
I wonder-
ass animatronic genie.
So does he have feet, or he's just like
no,
a
he's floating out.
turd?
He's floating out of the
Oh
out
my
of the
god!
lamp.
Look at him!
Look
Like,
at him go.
He's pretty
float.
quick, eh?
And he's like glowing green.
Oh man, that's so amazing. Look
That's
at him.
funny.
He's so greasy.
He kind of looks like the Kraken from the original Clash of the Titans.
Yes.
He's
yes.
pissed.
Yes.
yes.
Maha. Speaking of Maha, I'm drinking red wine.
Yeah, are you
That's a
drinking
bad
Paul
thing.
Masol?
No, I wish I was.
Oh,
What are you
man.
drinking, Morgan?
I'm drinking Shock Top. I'm being boring tonight.
Well, the face on the can has sunglasses. That's pretty cool.
And a mohawk.
That's like the 7-Up guy.
Yeah.
What was the 7-Up guy's name?
Oh, was it Fido Dido?
Yeah, or something like
Yeah,
that.
no,
Remember
that's
him?
what it was. Fido Dido.
Yeah, he had really long legs, and they always walked in front of his body.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what that guy looks like. What are you drinking,
He's
Megan?
kind of Big Mac tonight too.
I'm drinking a
little bit.
microbrewery IPA.
Ah, local.
Local. Small. Yellow. Good.
Different.
Different. Yeah, that's what it was. Small. Yellow.
I love
different.
that.
Okay, P.S.
Small,
I just want to say
yellow,
right now
different.
that this guy is hacking.
sad.
He's hacking the fucking lamp. He's on the computer.
Oh my god, he's hacking the
and
lamp
he's
on the
hacking
computer.
the lamp, and he's beating the genie. Look at him, furiously typing.
There's like a blueprint of the lamp on the
Oh
computer.
yeah. No,
Were
no,
the-
no.
was the
What is she fucking doing with that broom?
Technology is
Was the internet a thing in the 80s?
no.
No, you guys are so sad.
No.
No, actually, I like the 80s without the internet.
No, so do I, but I'm just saying, what is he doing?
He's saying it says inscription translation. Oh, he's
If
trying to
there's no
translate with
internet,
the
what is he? Oh.
destroy,
Destroy
the lamp, kill the
djinn.
So he hacked the fucking internet and figured out that you got to destroy the
The
lamp.
80s internet.
The 80s.
The 80s internet. He hacked the 80s internet.
Oh,
well-
things are exploding.
Well, before this movie ends, there's a couple other things I'd like to mention that is news and horror right now. So they have announced like a while ago, like a year ago, that they're remaking Suspiria. We have talked about it
Yeah,
on the podcast.
I guess we'll see.
And it's funny because the director, I can't remember his name, but he is proclaiming to be a giant fan of the original, like he was a child when he saw that movie. So maybe that'll make it good. But either way, they just announced that Jessica Harper, which is the girl that plays Susie in the original, is like coming back
Oh,
to
that's
be in the
cool.
movie.
That's nice.
So that's kind of cool that she's coming back.
Yeah.
And the other thing is a lot of people are talking about Stranger Things season 2. So they
When is it coming
started early next year.
Oh, good.
So they've finally started pre-production. And they've added a couple people, and one of them is Sean Astin
Really?
from the Willies.
Of course.
And like
Sean
from
Astin
being
from-
Sean Astin.
No,
The
no,
Willies.
he's from the fucking
Yeah.
Willies.
And fucking Paul Reiser.
Really?
Yeah, Paul Reiser is going to be in season
Why
2
do you
of
say that
Stranger
like I
Things.
should know who that is?
Paul Reiser, well, obviously people know him from that, what's that fucking show that he was Mad About You?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
But I love his character in Aliens. Like, he's
Yeah,
such
oh,
a
yeah.
fucking piece of shit. he's such a piece of shit in Aliens. So I'm excited for
I
that.
have stoner brain. I have.
Yeah, you know, I don't know. Like, I'm excited, but I also I'm still holding steadfast to the idea that I really don't think that. I think Stranger Things should have just ended where it ended.
But there's so many questions that have yet to be answered, though.
Yeah, but sometimes that's the best way to end a movie.
I agree, and I'm just
like
worried.
look at Martyrs. It's like, what did they say? What's at the other
Oh,
side?
Paul
That's true, but
Rudd.
that's true, but that's a movie though. This is a series, whereas
Yeah.
like the story, there's so much more to the story. Like X-Files, like there's so much about the X-Files
Oh,
that
no.
you could not fit in one season
Just
or
leave it
one
though.
movie.
Just
Yeah.
leave it.
But I
make
want to
it-
know more of about the
which
fucking
is great.
the
But
men.
like, leave it. I'm just saying, like, if Stranger Things, if we look back on this episode and when we're listening to this 10 years from now, there's 12 fucking seasons of Stranger Things. Do you know what I mean? Like,
If
just
it's
end it.
good, I don't know.
I just think I agree with you, Morgan.
Yeah.
I think you have a flawless series that people are going bananas over. Maybe give it another series, like another season, and wrap it up.
I feel
Wrap
yeah,
that
like
shit
I
up.
feel like maybe with that series they actually probably filmed two different endings. One that was the one that was just like, okay, they solved everything, they fucking got rid of the fucking monster, they all survived the end. And then it was like Friday or Nightmare on Elm Street, where it was like, oh, we actually have it got really popular, so maybe we need to make the ending more open so that we can continue. So I don't know. Like, I get it. Like, it did become really popular, and that's fabulous. And if they have a great storyline, amazing, and that's great. But I do kind of think that it should have just ended.
Well, going back to what you were saying earlier about like Breaking Bad and Lost, how they had the whole show written and they knew when it was going to
Yeah.
end. Like the
I mean,
Duffer
if-
Brothers
if
already
they
have
do
this
have that,
written.
if they have the arc,
no, they have the arc.
then that's good.
Yeah.
Oh, they have.
Yeah, like it's not gonna
Oh.
be like we're gonna need ideas for the next season. No, they have the whole fucking thing like and like fucking like done like ahead of time. But like I really want to know more about those like government men.
Yeah.
Like I want to fucking know more about those guys and the Upside Down.
Obviously, the Upside Down would be
Yeah.
an incredible.
It was a really
even for
great show.
spinoff.
But I also wanted to bring up so the Duffer Brothers. I watched Hidden, which was the only other thing that they've done aside from Stranger Things, and it was a movie that they did with Alexander Skarsgård, like Eric from True Blood is in it. It was really good. I think that you'd like it. It's basically like
You're like,
something
yeah.
happened, and they're hiding in a bunker, and but there's noise like happening, and they're hiding from something, but you don't know what it is. And it's a parents and a little girl, and they're hiding in this bunker. And like every once in a while, like they hear I forgot what they call them, but they call them something like the normies or the breathers or something like that. And if they're coming, like they have to be like really quiet. So like,
Oh,
and
that's
then obviously
weird.
things happen, and then you find things out, and it was actually really really good.
Cool. That
Yeah.
sounds really cool.
It's actually really fucking
And I know
cool.
that we've talked about this before, but that reminds me of 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Oh,
Oh, that
speaking
movie was
Yeah, that movie was
amazing.
amazing too. And speaking of that, he already like planned that it was going to be like a trilogy. So he's working on the
more?
third one. Yeah, so there's going to
good.
be like a different, like
Well,
another
of course there'd
perspective.
be a second. Well, there would have to be, because at the end of 10 Cloverfield Lane, you just see her escaped, and
Yeah.
that's essentially it, right?
I thought that movie was amazing.
Yeah,
by
it's
the way.
amazing.
Another great, but
John
here's the
Goodman
thing.
is incredible.
Here's the thing, and I meant to say this earlier when we were talking about Don't Breathe Again, was that, so I go to work, for example, and my boss is like, so I heard you really like Don't Breathe. And I'm like, yeah. She's like, all of my friends say it's a garbage movie.
What?
Yes.
Oh, your friends are stupid.
Yeah.
Thank you. And that's the same
Fuck all your
with 10
friends.
Cloverfield Lane, is some people who I talked to said, oh, 10 Cloverfield Lane, that movie was not good. What the fuck
What?
is wrong with people? You don't like Don't Breathe. You don't like 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Some people just
because
don't get it.
That's what I mean. And that's why I didn't mean to offend anyone earlier when I said, oh, well, you're like the Walking Dead sheep. Like, you just like bullshit horror. Well, I'm sorry, but
Just
if you
'cause it's
didn't
popular.
if you didn't like The Witch, if you didn't like 10 Cloverfield Lane, and if you didn't like fucking
Don't Breathe.
Don't Breathe,
You're not in it
you
for the
just
story.
have you just have different opinions than us. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna say, it's not fair to say you like shit movies, because it's all perspective, right?
But how can you
But
not
at the
like
end
that
of the day-
twist? Like I thought it was really well done
Sorry, in which the twist in what?
in Cloverfield, like 10
Yeah,
Cloverfield Lane.
yeah.
Yeah, like
Because you think it's going to be about the alien, but it's not. It's about
no
John Goodman.
Well, yeah, but like the whole time you're like, is he actually crazy, or like is he being serious, or is he
Yeah.
crazy?
Well, I like the Cloverfield movies. Like they're not like they're only related in what is happening in the world.
Like, it's
but
the
what I
same
like
world,
about it is
yeah.
that it's all the stories are different perspectives.
Yeah.
So the first one happened like was shot like while the attack happened, and I like that a lot. And I'm not like like I have to be in the mood to watch like a found footage. Like
I'm not a
handheld
fan of that
camera,
movie at all.
But,
I didn't think it was
oh,
good.
I loved it.
I didn't like it.
I loved it, but also again, it was more the concept of
Yeah.
it that I loved. And I love TJ Miller, and he's a comedian, and he's actually the guy that's like holding the camera. But yeah, 10 Cloverfield Lane is it's occurring after the attack. So the third one, I'm not sure if it's going to be like more like years later, but it's just going to be a different perspective of like it happening, like just like what's happening to these people when the aliens. Like,
It's in the same
invaded.
world,
yeah.
but it's just gonna be
which
a
is
different
which
story.
is what I kind of like, because it's like it's just all these accounts of different different people experiencing this like horrific like fucking invasion. It's
like
so that's what I
World
like
War
about
Z.
that. Yeah, I
Z,
forgot about that
whatever.
movie actually.
Yeah, well, no, not the movie, but the book.
The book.
It's like the same world, but it's all like all the chapters, and there's a bunch of different stories in it.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good book.
Yeah,
The
I never
story-
read the book.
the movie
Is
was
it Max
fucking
Brooks?
stupid. Yeah.
Max Brooks wrote that book,
Yeah,
didn't he?
yeah, he did.
Yeah. Now I tried to read to the zombie survival guide, but it reads like a survival guide, so
Yeah,
it's
it's
very
fucking
boring. Yeah. But yeah, well, I guess we're gonna wrap it up.
This movie sucked.
I like the last fucking 20 minutes were great.
I thought that the
yeah.
gin,
you know what? I'm gonna buy the
was great.
Blu-ray because I want to watch it and actually
wanna
see what's happening.
I want to see the bumps on his face. I want to see what he looks like.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. Big floating turd. But yeah, so we're gonna keep drinking, and thanks a lot for listening. Bye.
Bye.